Deep in the jungles of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula lies a gateway to another world, a circular pool of turquoise water, surrounded by sheer limestone cliffs draped in vines. For over 1,000 years, the ancient Maya came to this place not to drink, but to speak with the gods. This is the sacred cenote of Chichen Itza, known to the Maya as the Cenote, meaning sacred well. Unlike the hundreds of other cenotes scattered across the peninsula, this one was never used as a water source. Its purpose was far more profound. The Maya believed this vast sinkhole was a portal, a direct passage to Xibalba, the terrifying realm of the dead that lay beneath the earth. And for centuries, they sent messengers through its dark waters, carrying offerings to the gods below. To understand why the Maya threw their most precious treasures into this dark water, we must first understand their world. The Maya saw the universe as three interconnected realms: the heavens above, the earth in between, and Xibalba below. Xibalba was no peaceful afterlife. It was a place of trials inhabited by death gods with names like One Death and Seven Death. Maya scribes depicted cenotes in their art as the gaping bony jaws of a great centipede, the entrance to this fearsome realm. The Maya believed there were only three ways for the living to enter Xibalba: through deep caves, through the sacred bull game, and through the cenotes. Of these, the cenotes were most sacred, for through these openings the deceased passed, and from them humans and deities could be reborn. But why would anyone want to communicate with the underworld? The answer lies with Chak, the Maya god of rain, thunder, and lightning. With his great axe, Chak struck the clouds to release the rain that meant life or death for Maya civilization. Chak was both one and many. 4 Chaks stood at the cardinal directions, each wearing the colors of their realm: red for the east and sunrise, white for the north, black for the west and sunset, yellow for the south, and green represented the center, where all forces met. In the arid Yucatan, where surface rivers are rare, the Maya depended entirely on rainfall for their crops of maize. When the rains failed, famine followed, and in those desperate times, the people turned to the sacred cenote to plead with Chak for mercy. The sacred cenote at Chichen Itza is massive, approximately 60 meters in diameter and 27 meters deep. Its sheer walls drop straight to the water's surface, which lies another 20 meters below. No one who entered these waters was meant to climb out. A raised limestone road, called a sakba, meaning white road, connected the Great Pyramid of Kukulkan to the cenote. Along this 300-meter path, processions of priests, nobles, and sacrificial victims made their final journey to the portal of the gods. At the cenote's edge stood a small temple platform. Here, during elaborate ceremonies, offerings were prepared and blessed before being cast into the sacred waters. The Maya called this place Chen Ku, the Well of the Gods. The Maya threw their most precious possessions into the cenote. Jade, the most sacred material to Maya civilization, has been recovered in vast quantities. Hundreds of jade objects, including masks, beads, and figurines, many ritually broken before being cast into the depths. Gold and copper objects tell us the cenote was used for over a millennium. Metal discs, hammered with scenes of warfare and sacrifice, came from as far as Costa Rica and Panama. The Maya traded across vast distances to acquire precious metals specifically to offer to the gods. Archaeologists noticed something remarkable about these offerings. Many objects were intentionally damaged before being thrown in, bent, broken, or pierced with holes. The Maya were killing these objects, releasing their spiritual essence so they could serve the gods in Xibalba. But the cenote received more than objects. Spanish friar Diego de Landa, writing in the 16th century, described witnessing live sacrifices being thrown into the sacred waters at Chichen Itza. For over 1,000 years, human beings were offered to Chak. Modern analysis of skeletal remains has revealed a disturbing pattern. Of the 200 bodies recovered, many were children, most between the ages of 6 and 12. Recent DNA analysis showed something even more surprising. All the sacrificed children were male. Most remarkably, researchers found multiple sets of identical twins among the victims. This echoes one of the most sacred Maya myths, the story of the hero twins from the Popol Vuh, who descended to Xibalba, outwitted the death gods, and were reborn as the sun and moon. The secrets of the sacred cenote might have remained hidden forever, if not for Edward Herbert Thompson. In 1894, this American diplomat and amateur archaeologist purchased the entire Chichen Itza site for $75. He had read the Spanish accounts and was convinced treasures lay beneath the dark water. In 1904, Thompson began dredging the cenote using a bucket and pulley system. For years, he pulled up nothing but mud and debris. Then, suddenly, the treasures began to emerge. Gold discs, jade masks, copper bells, pottery, and human bones rose from the depths. Not satisfied with what the dredge could reach, Thompson made a dangerous decision. In 1909, he donned a heavy diving suit and descended into the murky water himself, assisted by 2 Greek divers from the Bahamas. Despite poor visibility and unstable debris, he recovered artifacts no dredge could reach. Thompson's discoveries were groundbreaking, but his methods were controversial. He secretly shipped thousands of artifacts to Harvard's Peabody Museum, an act later deemed illegal by Mexico. The Mexican government sued, and while Thompson never faced prison, the controversy sparked important conversations about cultural heritage. Since Thompson's time, Mexican archaeologists under the National Institute of Anthropology have led multiple expeditions. Modern techniques, including scuba diving and underwater photography, have allowed systematic documentation of the cenote floor, revealing the full scope of 1,000 years of offerings. Advanced imaging technology, including LiDAR, has revealed previously unknown structures buried beneath centuries of sediment near the cenote. Every year, new discoveries reshape our understanding of how the Maya used this sacred space. Over 30,000 artifacts have now been recovered from the sacred cenote, along with the remains of approximately 200 individuals. Together, they tell the story of a civilization that believed so deeply in the connection between worlds that they gave their most precious treasures and their own children to the gods. Today, the sacred cenote draws millions of visitors each year. They stand at the edge, peering down into the same waters that received offerings for over a millennium. The Maya are gone, but their portal to the underworld remains, still holding secrets we have yet to discover. The cenotes of the Yucatan remind us that for the ancient Maya, the boundary between the living and the dead was not a wall, but a door. And sometimes the gods answered back.